Hello there, I'm Trevor, and welcome back to Minecraft. Episode or part number 11. I'm starting off in this area again, and that is because I'm going to work on it a little bit today. It looks a little bland, so I wanted to spice things up over here. And that's kind of the idea of this entire video. I have these chests laying around my base, and I'm going to work on just a few smaller tasks that need to be done around the place before moving on to the next big project. But before I get into any of those, I did a raid last video. If you didn't see that, go check it out. I also got all this diamond armor, and after the raid, I did a bit of trading with the villagers, and here are my spoils. So these down here are things that the villagers just dropped to me. I couldn't get them to do it in the last video, but after I stopped recording, they actually started throwing things at me. And some of these are useful, like the empty maps there, and others are not so useful. But I was also able to trade with the villagers, and I got Fire Aspect 2 Librarian and a Mending Librarian, which is very important for this game. And since I had Hero of the Village, I went ahead and got one of the mending books while it was discounted, but I don't really know what to put it on yet, so I'm just holding on to it for now. Other than that, not much happened between videos. You can see here the Ravager from last video left a bit of damage in its path. But yeah, we got an iron golem standing watch outside the gate now. And I think it's this guy here, right? No, this is my fire aspect guy. Which I realize that's not that useful of an enchantment. It's kind of easy to get as well. But I was running out of time with Hero of the Village, so I went ahead and chose him. And here's my mending villager. He's not locked up or anything. I'm not going to treat him poorly. But maybe I should, so he'll be safe. But I'm just going to leave him here. Next to the wall. Probably not the best location. But see, he's got a bodyguard. He'll be alright. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. I did do one other thing in between videos, and that was exploring not one, not two, not three, but 4 different villages. There's one just down there. I don't think... Yeah, no, you can't see it from here, but there's one I found last video down there, and there's the one back there that I found previously, and I went back to that one to collect some more loot, and while I was back there, I saw yet another village off in the distance, and I just couldn't help myself. When it comes to this game, one of the hills that I'm willing to die on is that villages need to be less common. They're way too common in this game. Like the fact that I went to explore 1 village, maybe 2, and then I ended up exploring 4, I think that says just about everything that needs to be said. By the time you finish looting up 1, you already spot another one in the distance, and it's a vicious cycle, really. But anyway, that's enough about in-between videos. What about this video? Well, to start off, like I said, I want to make this area prettier, because I love my pathways going throughout my home base here, but they kind of just end right here, and then this area is very bland. So I'm going to work on this, spruce it up a little bit, and I'll catch you when that's over. You've seen enough of me building these pathways by now. You know how it's done. I'm just gonna get done. Well, I tried my best. I fought off so many creepers and skeletons, and I knew it was gonna happen, but it happened. Luckily, I'm just about done, and that shouldn't take too long to fix, but first I am gonna sleep so that nothing else happens here. But I did run out of oak leaves, so hopefully it didn't... Oh, it did. It broke some oak leaves. I don't even remember exactly how this went. Oh, this is annoying. I think it was something like that. Maybe. Oh well. Yeah, I don't have any leaves to fill that in, but that's alright. There was a torch here too, wasn't there? Yeah. So, other than that little mishap, things went pretty smoothly. I just added some extra foliage and, you know, the usual stuff. But up here, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Once again, yeah, I ran out of leaves, and I'm actually going to steal some of these to go put down there because I think that area is more important. Ow. And I know that's not how it originally was, but actually I think it was like that. Yeah, that feels better. And there was like some leaves there too. So that's the pathway here done. And then up here I just need to spread some more coarse dirt around to give it the impression of being trampled on. And that'll also just bring more texture into it. But yeah, the problem that I faced was that this area up here is very dark at night, and so I started lighting it up to keep monsters from spawning, but the creepers, they followed me. Oh well. I'll still pretty this area up, probably in between videos, because I'm not even sure how I want to do it, and I probably want to think a bit more about how I want this to look before I rush into anything. But the main thing was this path down here, and it is mostly finished, I think. I might tweak it a little bit because there's some spots that I'm not too sure about. But let's move right along into the next section, which is right over here. So obviously, my giant enchantment room up there is looking magnificent. I don't need to change that at all. But there is this cliff here that is just looking a little silly. And there's this weird cave stretching through here. And so I'm going to clean this area up so it looks more like a natural formation rather than this overhanging jaw. And this really doesn't even require that much effort at all. So I don't even need to do a time lapse or anything. This is just going to be some blocks here and there, you know. There's really not even a rhyme or reason for anything here. I'm just placing blocks. Back here, I'm going to do a bit more terraforming to make this look a little bit more natural. Okay, I like that quite a bit better than before. Could still maybe use some work in this area, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. And then down around here in the front, I'll also put some blocks around to give it some more depth. I don't know. It just looks better when there's grass around the bottom, you know? And the last thing I wanted to do was cover up this cave. Man, this is really ugly. I'll put a torch down here so it doesn't attract too many monsters. And it's turning nighttime again, so I'm about to go to bed, and then I'll do the last thing, which is something that I have neglected for far too long. And yeah, I think that looks alright. Maybe a little bit weird over there, but I'm not too worried about it because I'll probably end up changing this area in the future anyway if I decide to build something here. This is just to make it look a little less weird and a little more natural. But yeah, let me go to bed and we'll get started on the last big project for this video. Alright, like I said, this is something that has needed to be done for many, many videos. It's this ugly monstrosity of a river that I created like 4 or 5 episodes ago, and I said that I would work on it someday, but I just never have. And so I finally am gonna fulfill that promise that I made, and I hope that it doesn't disappoint. So now I'm gonna get started on this little river here, and like with the pathway at the start, I'm not gonna bore you with too many of the details. I'll just build it. You can watch me in the replay, and then I'll discuss some of the details in more detail once I've completed it. There it is. The river is now pretty much complete. Once again, I ran out of materials at some point, I don't have much seagrass, so down here it's kind of sparse. But up here there's plenty, I think, and it looks good. I think one thing it's missing is stuff around the outside, so I brought some grass to decorate the edges here. And this should help it blend in more with the scenery. So now I can walk you through some of the design choices I made. Obviously, we got the leaves around certain corners. That's to be the algae, like I did up in the river up top. And seagrass to keep it from being too bland underneath. There's also plenty of rocks around here too. I wanted to use tuff because it's a little darker as wet rock, so it's closer to the water, whereas the stone is the higher up parts. Here there's like maybe some splashing up right here, and yeah, nothing too special with these rocks. Actually, I forgot to even detail that one, so it's very blocky. I still have to do that one. But this one here is a little bit bigger. It kind of acts as a dam to keep water from flowing down this way. There's this big piece of sediment here. Because yeah, this corner was kind of weird. I wasn't sure how this was going to flow, so I just plopped a big rock right here. And then these tough walls work really well as little stones in the water. If you look close, you can see the connections under there. But from like up top or far away, they look like just little stones inside the water. And I like those a lot. And then lastly, kind of alongside the stones, I've got spruce fences here. And these work similarly to where you can just see the top. And it looks like there's like sticks or logs in the water without being too obtrusive, like using full logs. That would be a bit much. And yeah, still just flows into this corner here because I'm not sure about what's going to go under there. Well, I have an idea, but that's not for a little while longer. But now this area looks good. It's not just random dirt and water. It actually has a nice, peaceful vibe. Now if I had lily pads, that would actually be really good here to throw a few in. So maybe someday I'll do that. But yeah, that's this area complete. And when I was preparing, and when I was preparing these spots, I put a certain amount of leaves in each chest to even them out. But I have some left over from down there, so I can bring them up here and put these back to where they were meant to go. I already forgot where they went. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. We can get one last look at what we've done today. This now is blended in, it looks more natural. Fits the rest of the vibe. Over here, once again, much more natural looking, a lot better. It still kind of has a mystical vibe with this archway here, but it's not just floating anymore, because that's a big building. I don't think that would be able to hold it up if it was floating. And then lastly, over here, we have the beautiful river. And I can't forget to do that rock. But anyway, that's all I have planned for this video. Next video is going to be a fun one. I'm excited for that one. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the future.